Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It's going to be, I think, a very interesting and timely topic that we're going to talk about. I'm Dave Myers. I'm with the Berks Alliance. I want to turn it quickly over to John Weidenhammer, who's the chair of the Berks Alliance, for a welcome. John?
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm going to start by thanking Dave for putting this presentation together today. Also, I want to thank our presenters for the time that they've invested in preparing for this and getting ready to share an important message with us. I would just remind everybody that we do record these sessions and post them on both the Berks Alliance website, which is at berksalliance.org, as well as to the BCTV website. So it goes into the BCTV website archive. And we do have people that after the presentations do tune in and view these videos after the fact. So just a little bit about the Berks Alliance. We are a community development organization, and our primary focus is on trying to improve the health, wealth, and education attainment of the citizens in our community. And I'll just say, to blow our horn a little bit, you may have read in the paper that we're a step closer now to the restoration of passenger rail service from Philadelphia to Reading, which is a significant landmark, and it's something that the Berks Alliance has been championing since really 2019, when we did a landmark study that we funded. But the important thing about the restoration of rail service, it's not just a transportation project, it's a giant economic development project, much bigger than most people realize. And also it solves for an equity problem that we have in Berks County, because Berks has become increasingly disconnected city in terms of having transportation to sort of the rest of the world. We don't have air transportation any longer. We just have the Amtrak bus service that can take people to Philadelphia. And I really do think that if we can get the train, as I said, we're a step closer now. It really solves for a problem that will allow people to get on down line from Reading toward Philadelphia and Pottstown, Phoenixville, and Norristown, et cetera, very, very cost effectively. So we're really proud of the work that we've done there, and many others. It's been a giant team effort, but I couldn't resist just pointing out that it's something that we've been involved in from the beginning. And many thanks to Dave Myers, because he had contacts in Harrisburg and in Washington that really opened a lot of doors for us, and I believe made a difference. So with that, Dave, I'm going to turn it back to you. And again, thanks to our presenters, and happy holidays to everybody. I don't think the snow's going to last. Even on the grass at my office, that was completely white a little bit earlier, everything's melted. So Dave, take it away.
Thank you, John. Thank you for the unsolicited commercial. What we do, we ask everybody to put their cameras on so we can see we're actually dealing with live people, but mute your microphones for right now. If you notice at the bottom of the screen is a chat function, and we ask that you use that to submit questions and comments. We will get to those after the formal presentation. As John mentioned, we do share this. We'll send a copy to everybody who registered, and we've come to learn that people are busy even during lunch hours and not always ready to come onto a Zoom event, so that there are people who register for this, so they'll get a copy of the video, and we will make sure they get that sent to them. We also posted, as John said, on the Berks Alliance website and share it with BCTV, so it gets a little bit more play than what it would normally. So with that, we have a very interesting topic today. We have two people from Prospectus Berco to do a presentation for us and explain to us what they're working on and some of the activities and events that they have coming up. I'm going to turn it now over to Jessica Pinchard and Ginny Haggerty, and it's to you, ladies.
All right. Thank you. Hi. Hello, my name is Jessica Pinchard. I work for a great organization, nonprofit organization called Prospectus Berco. Prospectus Berco has been serving Berks County residents for more than 46 years, providing innovative support so individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities can live the life of their choice with self-determination and dignity. I would like to thank Dave Myers for inviting us to present today, along with the Berks Alliance, for this wonderful opportunity to share our mission with you and the very many people that are on today. I thought what I would do today is I'm going to provide an overview of Prospectus Berco, our programs and services, and then I'm going to turn things over to Ginny Haggerty, who's the director of our employment services. So that's pretty much how we would like to structure and organize things. But there are three things that I would like everyone to take away with them today. Number one, it is my hope that everybody will leave here today with a greater appreciation of the value and contribution that people with disabilities have in our community. Number two, I would like for people to go back to their place of business and consider all the things and all the ways that things that we talked about today and determine how we can bring value to you and your business and help you achieve your goals. And thirdly, we would be thrilled if one of you would reach out to us following the meeting today because you have some sort of production, packaging, and assembly need or job service that you believe that we may be able to assist you with on achieving your goals. So that's what we hope to accomplish today. So who is Prospectus Berco? In many ways, our mission is very similar to the Berks Alliance. I'm going to share my screen now. I'd like to share my screen. Take a little moment here. Okay, so who is Prospectus Berco? In many ways, our mission is similar to the Berks Alliance. Essentially, we both want to build strong people and strong communities. The only difference is that we work and specialize in supporting adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I'm not able to advance my screen. Just hold on. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't able to advance my screen. So let me share my screen.
We want to warn people that we've been having a little bit of trouble with the internet. I'm guessing it's the weather induced. So hopefully we work our way through all this.
We just ran through, there we go. Okay. Our mission, Prospectus Berco enriches the lives of people with disabilities and their families by providing innovative community participation, community living, employment opportunities, and family support services. A couple years ago, we refreshed our mission. And the reason we did that is we wanted to emphasize the increase that we have in our community. And also we wanted to let people know that while we provide a direct benefit to individuals, we provide a great service to families as well. If you are a family member with an adult with a disability, providing care for them every day can be a challenge. So Prospectus Berco is just one of several providers that are available to families who have children with disabilities. To kind of give you a little history, a little bit in context, I wanted to share that my great aunt, my grandmother's sister, was when she was born, she was I'm going to say she was labeled as mentally retarded. So growing up, that's how they would always kind of share that information with us. But you know, she was not allowed or permitted to go to school. You know, and that would have been, so that is hard to believe that today, that there were people that were not encouraged to go to school. With the IDEA Act and in the 1970s, everyone is now afforded free public education. And so that included individuals with special needs. And so children have been growing up since the 70s being integrated into our public school system. And that trend of being integrated in our community just continues to grow and expand. And Prospectus Berco has been there with individuals throughout that whole progression during that time. And we're just continuing this progression where we're doing more community integration for our individuals so they can lead rich, fulfilling lives. We also wanted to, when we were doing our strategic plan and we looked at our mission, a lot of our board members and people want the community to realize that we are a major employer. We employ a lot of people to provide these services for individuals. So we fulfill our mission by engaging and supporting a talented and compassionate workforce. We are inclusive and we live the guiding principles of accountability, communication, and trust. Our vision is that by building an inclusive community, we want every person to live the life of their choice. Our impact. So prior to the pandemic, Prospectus Berco employed over 300 people, and we served more than 400 people every year through our programs and services. During the pandemic, we were forced and mandated to close some of our programs. And then we had to expand our residential services at the same time. And we are continue to rebuild our capacity and come back from the pandemic. So currently, we employ approximately 226 people, and we're serving about 221 individuals. These numbers are should probably be updated because we continue to increase our capacity for our day service programs. So our services, another important thing for people to know is that Prospectus Berco is a licensed service provider for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That means we hold licenses to provide specific services and programs, and they are for residential, adult training, vocational, employment, family support services. And then even within those main headings, there's a myriad of other programmatic licenses and services that we're allowed to provide under those as well. Individuals and adult with a disability is referred to us for services. Individuals have a supports coordinator that work with individuals and their families to help develop a individual support plan to help guide them through their goals and ambitions for adulthood. And so individuals will at that point then choose to work with an organization like Prospectus Berco. And like many things with our services, I'm gonna put that down there. Just like most people, when you're entering adulthood, we want to ensure that people have a safe environment to live in. You know, our housing is very important to individuals. So we do offer residential programs. We have 22 community homes. The average is 3 people living per home, but we'll have homes that have 1 to 4 people living in them. The homes are located in residential neighborhoods throughout Berks County, and we provide 24-hour supervision for the individuals residing in those homes. Again, staff are trained to provide that service as caregivers. The staff are called direct support professionals, and so they assist individuals and support them so that they can live everyday lives in our communities and in their home. Life sharing services is another residential program that we administer by contracting with independent families who are willing to have an individual come and live with them in their home. Families are compensated a per diem rate for doing so. You can think of it like foster care. It's a very similar to a foster care type program. And then we also have family support services is when individuals may live independently in their home. And then we have direct support professionals will go and work with the individuals in their home to help them with their meals, help them with their shopping, laundry, and doing a wide array of activities to provide them assistance so that they can continue to live independently. This picture is just a nice little picture to show you some of the homes where individuals live. You can see they're very nice residential homes in residential neighborhoods. The homes are very well maintained. We have our own maintenance staff. And I wanted to share a picture of one of our program participants to point out that this is their home and our employees are only guests in their home. We're providing them assistance, but we are their guests and this is their home. They get to choose how they decorate their home, what meals they have, and what activities they do, and they get to decide how they want to live their lives. We also have an adult training program. We have a corporate campus, which is located down near Albright University off of William Lane. We have 2 buildings that houses a vocational production facility and warehouse. And then we also have the Adult Training Center, which is essentially 12 rooms where individuals can come and do recreational and work on personal development. Through the program, they are supervised during the daytime hours, and they are afforded the opportunity to explore interests and to use and have access to our community resources. They engage in recreational activities like crafts, music therapy, fitness programs, shopping and dining. But we also provide a lot of volunteer service in the community. We actually deliver more than 800 meals to senior citizens every week. We also help senior citizens do their grocery shopping and assorted shopping by doing that for them and delivering their groceries and doing a whole array of volunteer services with helping harvest. We'll go into a little more detail about some of the other organizations that we also help and volunteer with. So it's a great service that we provide. I wanted to also take time to let people and remind our business community that our individuals are very much engaged in the community. We're shopping in your stores. We're visiting the the Berkshire Mall. And we are Reading Royals hockey fans. We go to your Reading Phillies games as well. The gentleman sitting here to all the way to the right is Nick. Nick sings the national anthem from time to time at the Reading Philly games. You might even know him and stuff. He sells their raffle tickets. And so we're visiting and we're shopping and we are consumers in your businesses. And I don't know if people ever take time to consider that we are a vibrant part of your community. And I brought up family support services again because we sometimes provide services on a one-to-one basis where we're providing one-on-one companion habilitation and respite services where we're going out and meeting with individuals in their homes and we're taking them out in the community. Habilitation is a little different because it has an educational component where we might work with individuals to help them learn how to use public transportation. We might work with them on financial literacy goals. So it all depends on that ISP plan that the individuals and the families have that help us determine how we need to help the individual to maximize their life. And at this point, I am going to turn things over to Ginny Haggerty.
Welcome, everybody. My name's Ginny Haggerty, and I am the Director of the Employment and Vocational Programs. And thank you so much for joining us here today and taking time out of your busy day. So I'm here to talk about all things employment. And the agency's been around a long time, and I've been around almost all those years myself. So I've seen the progression of the vocational and the employment program really grow and develop. And it all starts with a great team. You know, we have a team of staff here in the vocational and employment program that have additional training on top of the training that we're required to have by the Office of Developmental Programs through our licensing. And it's ACRE training. It's a 40-hour course where the staff go through to earn their National Certificate of Achievement Employment Services. And what that means is they're trained to assess a job site, work with an individual to bring out their skills so that it matches the needs of the employer. They're also trained to find accommodations for this person, and it might be something as simple as somebody can't count to 20, but we can certainly come up with a jig where they can drop 20 items in a container and it counted the 20, and then we move on. So we don't spend a whole lot of time trying to teach some of those new skills. We find ways to make their skills more enhanced and meet the needs of our employers and our business community. So it does start with great staff, and we have great staff. Next slide. So we wanted to show you just a sampling of some of the companies that we have worked with over the past 40 years. And some of them we're currently working with, some we no longer work with. But we do a variety of jobs with these companies. And we would love to add any of your businesses to this this wonderful group. And we do work, as I'll explain in a minute, anywhere from on-site work to work in the community. So I'll talk a little bit more about some of these companies as we go on, but I think that looks great. So the vocational program. So under employment, it's a big umbrella. We have vocational training, which is more based in our facility here over on 840 William Lane. And then we have the employment services, which is more community focused. But in the facility, we work with individuals from 20 years old, just getting out of high school, to 70-year-old individuals who have already maybe had a job in the community or have been with us the whole time and are looking towards retirement. So we are located in Reading, close to Albright, and we do packaging, assembly, mechanized work, light assembly here in this facility. So prior to COVID, we had about 100 workers with disabilities, and we had a very vibrant workshop. We had 2 trucks, we had a truck driver, we had a marketing specialist, we had the whole kit and caboodle, and we were just firing on all cylinders, not only in the facility with our contract work and some of those businesses you just saw, but also getting people out in the community doing competitive jobs. Since COVID, we lost pretty much everything, no longer have trucks or drivers, and we're down to 50, 60 workers who have come back, but not everybody has come back full time. So we struggle with that, but we are trying to rebuild our program one business at a time, one employer at a time, one person at a time. And we're successfully doing that, considering all the struggles we've all been through in the last couple of years. So we are a 14C certificate holder company. And what that means is we are able to pay sub-minimum wages. So we pay piece rate for some of the jobs that we have historically done here in the shop. And the piece rates are based on prevailing wages. It's based on time studies. So that's how we come up with how to pay the workers the sub-minimum wages. It's all through the Department of Labor and Industry Wage and Hour Division. So because we're an employer, we have to follow the same rules as everybody else. We have to follow the WIOA, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. We have to follow FLSA. We have to follow work comp. So I'll talk again as I sort of layer on the different services that we provide. I'll be coming back to some of this. So we can go to the next slide. So the small group employment is just another service we provide. So we have individuals, as I said, from having, no work skill training and needing some work experience, all the way up to those individuals that really want a competitive integrated job, making minimum wage or better. And so we try and find different services to be able to match that with their skill level. So the small group employment is a great opportunity, not only for the business, but for us as well. We take 2 to 5 workers into the community where we do a variety of jobs, and we come up with a service agreement between the employer and us, and it's very simple, very easy. For example, we worked at Sweet Street Desserts for many, many years. We're on hold there right now, but peeling 9,000 pounds of bananas, and we work along, you'll see a video at the end, right on their assembly line, packaging breads, and we're working right in the middle of their workers trying to get the job done that they need done. The good thing about small group employment is we will show up. You contract with us, you're paying us, we're paying the worker. We cover the liability, we provide the transportation, everything with that job falls under us. Plus, we send a supervisor to make sure the job is getting done to the specification of the employer. And if we're supposed to be there Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., we're there Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. You don't have to worry about us not showing up. We're going to be there with a group of workers to get the job done. So that's been a real benefit to some of the companies that we've been working with. It can be like for Sweet Street, we went there Monday through Friday for years. We work with other Aramark. We sort hangers with Aramark. We go there every single day for a couple hours in the morning. We just got done off a job with Shearland Industries. We used to package their Christmas tree stands here in the shop, but since we no longer have trucks or the driver, we now negotiated with them to package the Christmas tree stands on site. It was beautiful. So we went there for a couple weeks. All the tree stands are packaged, probably ones that you're buying in the community, the ones with the big bucket, and you put the tree in the middle with the hole. We packaged all those, and we had been packaging them, like I said, in the shop for many, many years, but then transitioned to their location, and that worked out great. So it can be, one day a week, one day a month, a couple hours every single day. If we're able to help you out, and we will do that, and we will show up. Not like some of the situations I think that employers are going through right now with trying to get workers to come every day and not call off. So that's a good thing about the small group employment. All right, next slide. So community participation supports is just volunteer types of work. We have some individuals who don't know what they want to do. And so part of what we do through the vocational all the way to the employment program is to help them explore occupations, help them to learn to show up to work every day, work hardening, standing on your feet, taking only a 30-minute lunch, maybe only a 15-minute break, getting along with their coworkers, following directions from staff, being flexible, different side every day. So we have a variety of places that we take a couple workers out every day, and it's Friends Inc. We do their pantry, and we gather their shopping carts, Humane PA and Spike's Pet Pantry, Jubilee, New Journey, Restore, Next Chapter Book Club, Exeter Food Bank, Helping Harvest, Penn State Health, St. Joe's, and Laureldale Skilled Nursing. And we're constantly looking for new volunteer sites. Typically they're nonprofits, but if you know of anybody in your circle of acquaintances, friends, and family that needs some more support, we will pick a day and we will be there and get the job done that you need done. So that's what we do with the community participation supports, is support the individuals with disabilities in the community to help bring them along that path towards competitive integrated employment. Okay, next. So another service we provide, and we just started this year, and it's very exciting. It's called WEXA, Work Experience for Adults. It's time limited, so we can place a person up to 40 hours a week for up to 12 weeks. And again, not paid by the employer, paid by us, and we're reimbursed by the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. So it could be one day a week for a couple hours, or it could be 40 hours a week all the way up to 12 weeks. The intent is to give this worker experience so that they can add that to their resume and perhaps land that competitive job. Sometimes employers do hire them after the 12 weeks. So we currently have one woman that I'm working with, and I found her a job at ARL, Animal Rescue League, as a barn attendant. She has always worked on a farm, worked with large animals, and now she needs some supports, but she's doing a fabulous job at this site, getting paid for her 12-week experience. I have another young woman I just placed at a doctor's office as a medical office assistant, and she just started this week, and she's going to be working close to 40 hours a week for 12 weeks. And if she does well, they're going to hire her. She has an associate's degree as a medical office assistant. And so we work with everyone on any level, with any strengths, skills, interests. We will work with anyone on any level, meet them where they are, and try and get them to where they want to be. Okay, the community-based work assessments listed down at the bottom, that's another place where we could use some help. We have individuals that come to us that they're not sure what they want to do. So we take them out for 3 brief trials at a business, depending on what their interests are, for a couple hours. There's no pay. It's just really just taking a leap of faith and opening your doors to giving someone an opportunity to try a job, to see what they like, to see what they're good at, what they're not good at, what type of assistance they might need. And that is just short term. That's just like a once and done, come in for a couple hours. So if that's something you could provide us with, that would be great, great as well. All right, next slide. So here we get into the meat of the employment services program, the supported competitive employment. And what this is this is for the individuals. They're ready, willing, and capable of that competitive job. And there's different phases that they go through. Job development. We have an employment specialist who has a caseload, and she's working with a variety of people at all different levels on that employment journey. But development is developing a job, getting out there, meeting employers, uploading resumes on Indeed, practicing interview skills with the individual, all the things you have to do before you even, land that job. Then job placement, the employment specialist spends 40 hours, the first 40 hours on the job, with the individual, going through the onboarding and the on-the-job training. So that alleviates some of the stress from the employer. They don't have to do that. And here's another great thing about this is employers can get paid by OVR up to 180 days worth of person's wages. So they don't have to pay anything for this worker for 180 days. And they also will have a job coach there to help move it along and make sure that the person is successful. And the job coaches, circle back a little bit about the staff training, they're skilled at that, at finding ways to make it work. If something's not working with an employer, they're not meeting all the needs, they will find ways to make that work, tweak the job a little bit. So they're there as a help to the employer. And that's important to remember, because I think some placements sometimes don't work out, just like any placement might not work out. But I wouldn't want you all to have that impression in your mind about persons with disabilities. Please know that everybody's individual, everybody's different, every placement is different. So the job coach is there to help the employer make this partnership successful. So then we go on to employment supports, and that's job stability, job maintenance, and case closure. And it's just the different phases that the employment specialist sort of stays with the person and then fades themselves away. Hopefully after case closure, you're satisfied, the person is satisfied, and then they continue on. Always knowing that if there's anything that comes up, we are right back in there and can provide supports. So the young man that's pictured down the bottom, he's awesome. He got a job. He worked for 2 years at KKBS and then decided it wasn't really for him. And now we're working with him again to find him another job. The gentleman up top did a seasonal job for Unique Snacks and worked there and got them through their busy season. And then that ended, but all really great work experiences. And the employers benefited as well. I don't think we have a slide for this, but you can turn to the next one. I just want to add that we're also newly, we're an employment network for the Ticket to Work program. So we don't have anybody in that program yet, but we have lots of employment experience, and I have no doubt that new service will be as successful as our other services. So we have that coming as well. I have to cough for a minute, so hold on. Sorry about that. That's my concern when I give these talks, is I'm going to get that tickle in my throat at the wrong time. It's kind of like when you're in church, sometimes it happens. So This is how you can help. Consider working with our employment specialist to hire an individual with a disability. And hopefully I've given you, short-term assessments to longer-term assessments up to 12 weeks to work maybe here in our shop if you have a large quantity or packaging or a collating job that you need done here. Working with us at your place of employment, we can bring them to you, all the way up to hiring an individual with a disability and having us coach them through it. So there's plenty of options, and we really are an underutilized staffing resource for many, many businesses. And know that we're here to help make the job easier, not to make your job harder. And I know how sometimes you feel, you get a volunteer in at work, you get an intern at work, and you're thinking, oh gosh, I'm going to have to put out some more energy to train that person just to have them help me out. But we're here to alleviate all of that for you. So hopefully you can, take a leap of faith with our services. So provide an opportunity for employment specialists to use your business for a community-based work assessment, or use our production team for packaging and assembly. We have done thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of work in this workshop and have done it successfully. We have the same customers and contractors for all the years that we've been in business. Our reputation is good. We have a quality control team. We have a clean room by the Department of Agriculture. So we're here. Please reach out to us if we can be of assistance, and we want it to work. If it's not right, we will tell you it's not right. If we don't have anybody that can meet your needs, or we can't meet your needs, we're going to tell you we can't meet your needs. But if we can, we're going to work with you to make it work. So just know that one person at a time, over time, or what I like to say, one business at a time, one employer at a time, one contact at a time, you can make a difference in the lives of a person with a disability. So my part's done. We are available for questions.
I'll stop sharing the presentation now.
Well, actually, go to the last page if you can, because that shows Clover Farms. We did all of these pictures, Bimbo, Redner's. We worked with the Grab and Go at Redner's here, the group at the bottom. Bimbo, we do their laundry once a week. Here's Clover Farms prior to COVID. They would bring the refrigerated trucks, load them up, back them up to our loading dock, and we do a lot of repackaging work. You get the tea and the juices and the fruit punches all in different boxes, and we'd have to take them out of one box and put them in another box and send them back. Hers chips, they'd send us a bunch of different boxes of chips, and we had to take all of the same kinds out and mix them up. 2 of this kind, 2 of that kind, 2 of another kind. So we do a lot of repackaging types of jobs.
Jessica, do you want to do the video?
Sure, if you would like me to do that now before the questions. I didn't know if there were any questions.
No, there are
Just give
questions.
me-
I've got a bunch.
Good.
Okay, I'll show the video first, and then we'll go back. So just give me one moment here.
This is really interesting stuff. I mean, great work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Can everybody see it?
Mhm.
Did you know that 98% of all
So-
adults in
Thank you.
America?
I'd like to
Great.
make an observation about that. Typically, when we would have tours here in our program, I love giving tours of the facility because talking about persons with disabilities and employment, we're talking to you and you all have visions in your mind about what that might look like. And you might think in your mind first, you think about the person with the disability first and the fact that they're doing the same work as everybody else second. When you see people in this video clip and you see them here in our workshop, the very first thing that you see is workers. You don't see the individual disability and then the work. You see workers. And I don't think you can tell me who was who in that video. Everybody was working and interacting. So that's the power of visiting and seeing videos like this.
That's a great point. I was looking to see if I could describe who was who, and you really can't.
Other than the color of the scrubs, you
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
This is a very fascinating stuff. Couple questions to start, and then I'll open it up for the audience to do a little bit more. Where do you get your funding? What's the funding sources?
The funding comes from the Office of Developmental Programs, and it comes from the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation.
So from the state.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
State,
pretty much-
Commonwealth of PA, and the federal government.
Okay, so that's pretty much the funding streams for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, how do your clients find you?
Jesse, do
They
you?
find us through, I was just gonna say, they find us through their supports coordinator and through the supports coordination through the county. They work with Sam, and then there's several, they opened it up. There's now other organizations out there. So it's through a referral process, but we also are very active on, our social media links. We have a very good reputation. So a lot of word spreads by mouth as well, and by people know us in the community and know that we provide good quality services. So a lot of it is by word of mouth. We do outreach programs with the local school districts,
Okay.
and we just kind of keep hitting it at a variety of levels to try to get our word out. But it's primarily through the supports coordination.
Okay, the school districts was a question I was going to ask about whether the school districts are intermediate units or a source. Because a lot of the students going through, as you pointed out, special education requirements now, last 45 years, about the same history you have, require
Correct, yeah.
students to have access to it, but they get to be 18 and there's no longer that requirement necessarily.
Yeah,
Um,
they are able to go to school until the age of 21. They
21,
have an
right.
extended school period.
Right.
Ginny can probably talk a little more about this specifically as it pertains to employment and the Employment First initiative within the state.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is an employment first state, which means it's employment above anything else is the direction that they want to see school students go into. And then actually, I think they increased the age to 22 now. So some of the schools, some of the students are staying until 22. And the schools are, obligated to provide employment training. And what they do is they hook them up with a counselor through the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation while they're still in school. And a lot of the schools are very active, like the Berks County Transition Coordinating Council is very active in working with school students and preparing them for employment. They're doing a lot of the same things we're doing here at the adult level while they're still in school. Then when they graduate from school, they either go off to higher education, they would go to the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation for Employment Services, of which they can choose us as a provider to provide those services. A student cannot come and earn sub-minimum wages by the Department of Labor and Industry Wage and Hour Division if they're 24 years and younger. If they're 24 years and younger, they have to go through OVR first to at least try to get a job, go through some of the assessments I just talked about. Sometimes the assessment will say a student needs a lot more support, is not really ready yet for employment. And so then that student could come and earn sub-minimum wages. But if they don't, if they say that they are employable, they have to sort of exhaust some of those resources first before they could come to a sheltered program like ours. So they are making that transition. It's really more what I see when the young workers we get is, and again, is no different than anybody else. You know, your son or daughter graduates from high school, and then
What can they
you got to
do?
deal with those 20-year-olds. Sometimes harder than the younger years. And what do? Do you go to school? Do you get a job? And oh, I got to go every day, and I got to listen to my boss, and I got to go in on a weekend. So we do a lot of that work hardening here with some of the school students because it's a shock to them. So we work with them on that level all the way up to that seasoned worker who really wants, a job.
You talked about the 3 employment programs you have now and the 4th one that you're adding on. Are all those people employed by you, by Prospectus Berco?
So we have the workers in our vocational facility here on site are employed by us, but they only get paid when they work.
Mhm.
And they get paid by businesses and the community. If we take them out on site to a paid site, they get paid by us, but we get reimbursed by the business, by the company.
Okay, so the company
and-
does.
And I just wanted to quick add the employment numbers that I gave at the beginning of the presentation. Those do not include our vocational workers. Yeah, we do have a distinction there. So I just wanted to make you aware of that, although they are considered employees.
How many are involved in that program?
So we have staff that are employed by Prospectus Berco to provide the supports to persons with disabilities. And we have a couple hundred staff.
Okay.
Then we have the individuals in our programs that we provide the service to. And
Right.
in the vocational program, it's about 60 or so that we provide, but they're not getting a paycheck all the time. They're only getting a paycheck if we have contract work for them to do, or we take them into the community at a paid job site.
Okay. It sounds very labor intensive on your end of it, which is pretty significant. Do you have difficulty finding employees of your own?
Just like everybody else. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really no different than anybody else.
Anybody else? So
yeah.
you're having those same issues.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
You had talked about having had trucks and other sorts of things that you had done, and that's disappeared. Why has it disappeared? And is that something you're planning to bring back? Do you need help bringing that back?
Well, it disappeared because of COVID, and when we closed down, because we are an employer, we had to close like every other business during that time. So we were closed for a while, twice. So when we closed, we couldn't do the contract work for the businesses. And we had to furlough and lay some people off. And so then it just kind of snowballed from there. We lost the contracts, and we didn't need the trucks, and we didn't need the truck driver, and we didn't need, other support staff. So when we started to rebuild, we went from 100 to 0 individuals, and we started bringing them back one person at a time. And then one of the contractors called up and said, "Hey, can you still do this job for us?" We're like, "Well, we have 2 workers, so we'll try it." But and we slowly started just navigating, being able to manage the contract jobs we had, and then we got more workers and we got more staff, and it went from there. I do not see us going back to needing trucks, because what COVID also did was it gave us an opportunity to explore the supported employment program and start to flip it a little bit. Example, Aramark, we did hangers here in the workshop, sorting hangers. The entire shop was employed doing that at periods of time, and it employed a lot of people at piece rate. They really still needed us to do that service. We didn't have a way to get the hangers to and from them, so we negotiated with them to send 2 workers and a staff to their facility. It's a very tiny room, and the 3 of them sit there and do hangers, and they pay us above minimum wage to do that, and that's in every single day for a couple hours. So we did it with them, and we did it with a couple of Shearland Industries. As I mentioned before, we went to them. So we're just finding different, more creative ways, and better ways, quite honestly, to get the people in the community to do the jobs on site.
Is transportation an issue for your clients?
Yes, it is. It's expensive. Since a lot of our workers were coming full time, and now because of the budgets that they have from from the state, it's a little less. So they have to figure out how they're going to budget paying to come here, paying for their transportation, and paying for some of those other services that Jesse talked about, whether it be habilitation hours, having a companion. So they have to budget their money so they don't have enough. And transportation is very expensive.
Yeah.
They come
Now
in
you do
come
provide-
taxis.
You do provide the transportation when they come here. We do take them to the work sites though.
Right.
We provide that transportation when they're in the program.
Yeah.
Once
Mhm.
they're here.
But most of them are using taxi transportation rather than public transportation.
To get here.
To
Yeah.
get
here.
to
They
the
use a
to the
wide
physical
array.
location. Yeah.
Okay.
We
so that's
actually
something-
have over 55 vehicles
okay.
in between our community homes and having enough vehicles here to take people out to do the volunteer work, the services, to go out in the community and do various activities. We have a fleet of vehicles to help provide the transportation once they're here doing things.
Is language a barrier for your clients?
We have an
do you mean?
ASL. We do have a program where we specialize in working with individuals who are deaf and hard of hearing. One of our homes is specially designed to accommodate deaf and hard of hearing individuals. So they have more lights instead of sound. They'll have lights to alert people. All the employees are trained in ASL sign language. So they do that as well. And then we also have a program. One of our adult training programs specializes as well in sign language. So we have an instructor that comes actually twice a week. She comes and she teaches our individual sign language, and then she does another class for our employees as well. So that would be the one thing. We also have some staff that are speak Spanish speaking. And so we do have a room that does have the Spanish speaking as well. I don't know if you have anything else to add, Jenny, or
No.
Since a lot of your clients are employed by you, do they have access to benefits beyond being paid? Are they healthcare, which I would imagine is an issue for them, other types of services?
Okay, so the staff, yes, the staff have a full complement of benefits and pay. The workers in the vocational program, if they meet the criteria for the 401k plan, they have that. There's no medical benefits. They're all part-time workers.
and they have health insurance through other sources.
Through other forms,
They-
yeah.
Yeah.
Public,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I would think.
But some do qualify for our 401k plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to ask a couple questions about the housing. Prospectus Berco owns the housing that the people live in, right?
We own 12 of them. We own 12 of the homes, and then we rent the remaining 10 homes we rent.
Okay.
So we do have it kind of slated as a goal where we would like to own more of the homes. But that's how we manage it right now. We own 12 of them.
Okay, and where are they physically spread out through the county, or are they more
Yes.
concentrated?
Nope. They are we have homes in Shillington. We have homes in Sinking Spring. We have homes in Reading. We have them all over Muhlenberg, Temple, nice areas throughout the county.
And are the tenants responsible for maintaining the property?
We have a maintenance department that works and helps and to maintain all the properties and to take care of all their needs, the lawn care, the snow removal. We take care of all of that. Each of the homes, we also provide vehicles for. Some of the homes need wheelchair vans, so those that need that, we do provide that service as well. We do take individuals to medical appointments. We have a medical care team on site here where we have a registered nurse that she oversees a lot of the medical needs of our individuals. And then she also has 2 or 3 LPNs that work with her. We've identified that as a growing need within the corporation, and we received a grant where we were unable to hire an LPN. We had some open positions for a long time because of the pay. We had difficulty hiring and filling that position. So what we did is we nominated or elected 2 of our supervisors, and we asked them to enroll in an LPN training program. And so we are providing and paying for them to receive that training so that we can grow the that medical support team. And then she's there to help and assist with the residential program, but they also work and oversee all of the day services programs as well. So it's over 200 people that they are monitoring and helping and assisting with.
Okay. I wanted to ask a little bit more about the demographics of the population that you're serving in Berks County. You talked about having, what was it, at a peak, about 330 clients. What people who would be eligible for services from you, what percentage of Berks County population, 420,000 people, would be eligible to receive services from you? Do you have any idea what the demographics?
I did look it up at one time. I want to, like, you're talking about the percentage of people that have a disability
Yeah,
in Berks
yeah.
County.
Yeah,
I want to say it's close to 10%, but it was a while since I looked at it,
so
those numbers.
we need to grow you bigger and wider.
Yes,
to
yes,
serve the
yes. Now,
population.
you have to really kind of dig down into those numbers, because then I think once there's a certain age limit, then they might fall under senior services, that might also include children's services,
Right.
so.
Yeah, it would.
We basically work with adults. Well, we do work, and we do have an aging in place program too. I don't want to be misleading and say we don't serve seniors, because we do. We serve individuals of all ages, as long as we're able to provide that care and that service for them.
Do you have any demographic breakout in terms of the population you're serving? How many of them are Spanish speaking versus English speaking? How many of them have
No, I
physical
haven't done
impairments?
that. I haven't.
We
I
do,
don't know.
we do have that listed somewhere. I don't know off the top of my head, because we have to comply with all of the,
Okay.
the regulations, and that's one of the things that we do have to report on.
Okay, so thank you, Jenny.
Well, and in some ways, we want you to serve whoever needs service, not target certain populations. But it's important that all the populations have access to it. Quickly,
Right.
really, financial literacy program that you do, what are the elements of that? How needed is that for this population?
Well, that would depend on I would have to look at that. I'm not that well versed in the individual support plans that they do. I was just giving some examples of areas of work that they focus on and have identified with. We have been able to partner, and banking institutions, financial institutions have reached out to us to offer that type of training program for our individuals.
We also have
Um,
our employment specialist with the employment program is a benefits counselor, certified benefits counselor. So if someone's going through the employment program, she could meet with someone and discuss how working part-time or full-time is going to impact their benefits, to make sure that they're fully aware of, if they're going to lose their medical benefits or how their cash benefits are going to be decreased. So she can do that, and we can offer that to the individuals we support.
Are there particular types of businesses that we should be reaching out to encourage them to work with you?
Everybody and anybody. Just a contact. Honestly, we do a variety of things. I could walk into a business and probably look around and come up with a dozen things that you're probably doing that you probably don't need to be doing, or someone's doing it that could be doing something else, and come up with something that would be a help and a value to the employer. So right now, we would love to get a large packaging type of job for our vocational facility. Again, Again, a lot of rework, a lot of packaging, nuts, bolts, washers, chips, whatever it would be. But we would love to have something again, because we did lose our main contract over COVID. And then we'd love to just have a variety of employers willing to for us to call them up and just say, hey, can we bring a worker in? Can we see how they do at this job? Just to be willing to partner with us. And not necessarily has to be a big commitment or anything, just willing to have a conversation. That's really what it's all about.
Okay. So people involved in distribution, logistics, food processing, those kinds of things would be great partners to take a look at. Okay, I'm going to open this up. If anybody in the audience has a question, I think we've got several of them that you had raised through the chat. But Bonnie, Jeremy, any thoughts, questions?
Hi, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Just thank you for bringing this program together. It's important that I think people know who Prospectus Berco is and the great work that they are doing. And it's probably one of our best kept secrets.
Yeah. Anybody else have a question they want to ask?
This is Rick. I had to step away for a second, so I don't know if the question was answered of, do you guys deal with clients that are Spanish speakers?
We did
Yes,
ask it,
we
but
do.
thank you for asking
Yes.
it again.
We have several individuals in our program who some speak Spanish and English, some just speak Spanish. We have a couple staff who speak Spanish, but
Okay.
it's not, and we work with them, however we need to work with them. The supports coordinator sometimes is our interpreter when we're discussing things with families. The individuals acclimate very well here. When we're showing them what to do, they understand.
Awesome. Thank you.
We have one of our individuals, we did Friends Helping Friends at Boscov's, and one of the individuals, participant in our program, was Spanish speaking, and he was out at the table with us selling our vouchers, our shopping passes, and he was Spanish speaking, and he was there speaking to all to people as we were going through and going by too. So that was a great resource, and it's nice to see them helping us. Like, they love that they can give back and be contribute in that capacity. It made him feel
That's
really
great.
good and valued. Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. This is a.
Hello,
Yamil, I think Yamil has.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Go ahead.
just
Go
wanted
ahead.
to, yes, hi, it's okay. Hi, my name is Jamila. I do think you're an amazing organization. I don't know about you. I'm so happy that I got to participate here today, because definitely very well kept secret, but it's not anymore, because I totally will spread the word about you. I would love a tour of your facilities. Should
That'd be
I
great.
reach out to Jessica or Jenny? Whichever of you guys, doesn't matter. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. I
Thank
want to thank Gail Landis for bringing you to us today. Jessica and Jenny, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Go ahead, Jenny.
Well, I was just going to say, did you all give our email was at the end of the presentation. I
Yeah.
don't know are you going to share that with
We will
them?
share it
I
again.
can share it. I can share it with everybody again here. Sorry about that. I kind of went on to the
Or
video.
put it in the chat.
And
Yeah,
we'll send it when we send the video.
that'd be great.
Dave
Yeah.
said that he would give me everyone's information so that I can share this information with everyone, of the presentation with everyone at the end of after our meeting today. So
I'd be more
But
than
if you wanna
happy to
join
meet
that.
with anybody, discuss any small or large, any thoughts you might have. Really, it's just brainstorm how we can help each other.
Well, thank you both, not only for this presentation today, but for your service to this community. It's really significant and important and highly valued. So we do greatly appreciate that. We want to remind everybody we'll be sending a copy of the video. We will give Jessica and Jenny people's contact information. We'll make sure everybody gets a copy of the PowerPoint presentation today and how to access them. And we'll look forward to trying to find some more places for you to work with here in
That'd be
Berks
great.
County. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Happy holidays.